Amsterdam. What first comes to mind for many when thinking of Amsterdam is the red light district, party scene, or perhaps its relaxed approach to drugs, especially with the magic truffle shops and, air quotes, coffee shops lined along the streets. Some, however, might immediately think of the immense canal system spread across the city. When walking around the city center, the canals are inescapable. They're everywhere. In fact, there are roughly 165 canals and more than 1,200 bridges in Amsterdam. Compare that to the 150 canals and about 400 bridges in Venice. And there used to be even more canals in Amsterdam, but they were filled to create more space for land traffic. To put it in perspective, I had a difficult time taking videos of the city center without having a bridge or canal in the shot. The name Amsterdam comes from damming the river Amstel, Amsteller Dam, Amsterdam. And these canals were originally created for water management and defense. However, their use evolved from that to match the core identity of Amsterdam in modern history: trade. And it's no secret that the Dutch colonial empire during the Dutch Golden Age had an immense impact upon the world with its several colonies and established trading network. Perhaps the Dutch East India Company, or VOC, might ring a bell, as it was one of, if not the largest, company to ever exist. And it was headquartered in Amsterdam. The building is still standing today, actually. That being said, the primary purpose of the Dutch colonial empire was global commerce. And with its canal system, Amsterdam was well equipped to handle the maritime traffic coming from the Dutch trade networks. Until it wasn't. After years of decline, Amsterdam had lost much of its trade to rivals, mainly London and Hamburg. And in 1795, France conquered the Dutch Empire under Napoleon, who then implemented the continental system. The Dutch regained independence after 1815, but the damage was done to the city that depended so much on overseas commerce. After years of neglect, the once bustling port of Amsterdam had a transport system that was in a state of decay. The number of vessels entering the port declined further between 1808 and 1813, from 361 to roughly 50 annually. This then brings us to the title of the video. Amsterdam needed to re-establish itself as a major commercial center and to gain better access to the sea. Here's a map of the city. To access the port, ships needed to sail through the Zuiderzee route, which I can't pronounce. But this route only offered a minimum depth of 3.5 meters, causing too much of a hazard as ships became larger. This led to Amsterdam losing business to its competitor, Rotterdam. So, a plan was hatched by King Willem I. From 1819 to 1825, a canal 80 kilometers long and 5 meters deep was dug from Amsterdam to Den Helder, providing greater access to the sea. And the name of this canal? The North Holland Canal. And did this save the city? No. The North Holland Canal was still too small, there were many bridges, and the water froze during the winter. Ships simply continued to use the Zuiderzee route, or avoided Amsterdam altogether. Between 1839 and 1859, the number of clearances of ships at Amsterdam fell from 2,356 to 1,763. Not to mention, the canal made Amsterdam fear Den Helder as a trade rival. They were back to square one. So once more, the city dug another canal. In 1865, digging of the 24-kilometer canal began from A to A Mouden. In 1876, the North Sea Canal was opened, and it was decisive in the city's revival. Steamships flowed into the city carrying wares for distribution. Docking and storage facilities were expanded. One measure of success is such. Between 1850 and 1875, the average volume of goods cleared at Amsterdam was roughly 1.8 million cubic meters annually. By 1913, it was over 12 million cubic meters. By that time, over 60% of Netherlands merchant marine were registered in Amsterdam. The population also grew tremendously over this time. The renewed prosperity, industrial development, and population growth led to rebuilding within the old city. Extension plans were adopted for the city. There was improved public health. By the end of the 19th century, Amsterdam was once again a prosperous trading city. And here it is. The North Sea Canal, that is. Look, I never said it would be pretty. I don't have much footage of it because it's not easy to bike along, as its main purpose is industry. So would I recommend visiting the North Sea Canal? Absolutely not. Stay in the city, that's what it's here for. All in all, this is just another reminder that for especially a city so central around trade, and that has trains, trams, bikes, cars, buses, and boats, transportation is everything.